Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. Welcome to episode 13 of Coffee and Bricks. This is my weekly weekend live stream and great to have you here. If you're coming on board, please do say hi. Let me know where you're in the world and what time it is. It's 12 midnight for me, but I'm really happy to be here with you guys. I've got my coffee over here. So hopefully we're going to talk about some bricks as well. Alright, so as people are coming, let me just tell you what we've been doing this past week. I've been still busy at work, but not as busy. We've got some things built this week. We also got several sets. We've got the new Porsche set. Haven't built this yet, but this will be built real soon. Two sets that were built. One is the Hidden Side set. That's the Shrimp Attack, or the Shrimp Shack, and this is a pretty cool set, and I'll be doing videos on this particular set this week as well, or this coming week, so you see that. We also got this built. That's the Bricklink A-Fall Designer Series. This is the bike stand, or the bike rack, or the bike truck. Basically that's that over there, and I'll also be doing a video on that and sharing my thoughts on it. So more videos to come, not as regular, not daily, but I think we can hit 3 times a week, including this live stream. So please do check out the channel, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. In fact, if you want to support the channel, there's several ways you can do that. You can head over to smallbrickcity.com. That's my website, and you can go ahead and subscribe for free content such as the building instructions, previews to my books, and exclusive video tutorials. Now all you have to do is head over to smallbrickcity.com and you can check that out. You can also check out some of the merchandise and building instructions we have. So lots of cool stuff on Small Brick City. Now simply, if you do not want to do any of that, all you need to do is hit the like button as well. That's pretty simple. Just hit the like button whether you're watching this live or watching the replay. And I do see people are coming in and they're letting me know where they're from as well. I'll get to you guys in just a bit. Now, super chats are enabled. If it's enabled in your country, you'll just see the $sign in the live chat box. You can go ahead and use the super chat to donate any amount of money you like. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. All right, let's chat with a few people here first, and we'll see who we have before we actually get to talk about today's topic. All right, we have Banana Man, Spherical 51, Mahan always here, X Sandbox, Jama Marvel Films. All right, Mahan says, let's talk about Lipin. Yes, we can. Jamel, thank you very much. You love my content. Thank you very much. Hi, Joshua, Josh Briggs, Brick Builder Blue. I'm glad you could join us this week. G Group from Portugal, 5 p.m. for you. Music Pinder Pro from Quebec, Canada, 12 p.m. Magnus, how are you doing? The Randomized Dice. And Banana Man, you're from Canada. Well, great to see all of you. In fact, quite a few new names that I haven't seen in previous weeks. So thank you so much. If you have just joined or subscribed to the channel as well, welcome to Small Brick City. This is a weekly weekend live stream that I do, and I try to do them as often as I can. We had a 3-week break in between due to my professional work commitment, but I think we're back on track for a regular live stream. We have Andy from England. We've got Skywalk. Hi, it's been some time. Haven't seen you around, but glad to see you here. So I'm doing pretty good. Magnus asked, thank you for asking. A few of you asked as well. Busy at work, but still good time for Lego, so all is good. And I'm settling in with the projects that I'm currently working on. So it's not as hectic as it was for the first 3 weeks, because at the beginning, of course, just planning, strategizing, and just being part of a new team, that always takes a lot of time. But now that everything is kind of in motion, the team needs to execute a lot of the plans, so things have slowed down for me personally by just a bit. The Randomized Brick, you're from Singapore. Well, great to see a fellow Singaporean on the stream. Not many Singaporeans join. Maybe we get Chubby Bots, who's always supportive. We've got a few other people who do join in, but not many from Singapore or Malaysia. The Woodshop Teacher, how you doing? Awesome Brick Productions. Michael Shoughton, how you doing? Yes, you're just in time. All right. So I shared some of the new sets that I bought this week, and we also built, and you'll be seeing videos in the upcoming week on them. Now, in this particular live stream, there is a format. I always have a central topic that I discuss, and that just sparks rooms for discussion, and you can share your thoughts and your views as well. I also do what I call the Small Brick City Spotlight, and that's where I spotlight something very interesting. And trust me, many people have been asking something related to what I'm doing a spotlight on today. So you do not want to miss out the Small Brick City Spotlight. That comes on in about I would say the 2/3 mark of the live stream. And we typically go for about 45 minutes each time. So if you can carve out that time and stay with us for the next 40 more minutes or so. Brenda, how are you doing? Thank you so much, and great. Glad you guys all like the content, and let's get right into this week's topic. And I thought I'll talk about something that I was actually going to do. See, as you know, I mentioned we bought a couple of Lego sets. So therefore, I was thinking of how I was going to fit something in. In fact, my process starts from the Lego shop actually, or when I actually buy a set, or sometimes even when I see a new set being announced, immediately my mind starts clicking, and I think whether I want to buy the set and whether I want to incorporate it into my Lego city. Now, when I buy a Lego set, there are several reasons I do so. So one, of course, is if you just like a set, or if I like a set, right, and I just want to buy it. But most times, at least for me personally, and I won't speak for any of you guys, I always think how I can incorporate it into my Lego city. So it's a two-part process, I think. The first thing is always, well, do I like the set and can I fit it in the Lego city? And then the second is, how can I actually practically fit it in the Lego city? We always give ourselves excuses, right? When we see a new set and we think, yeah, I've got to have that. I think that can fit in the city, even though we may not have the practical means like the space. Well, of course, some other practical considerations might be whether you have the budget for that month to buy a particular set that you might like. Budgets for the sets aren't too big a concern for myself. It's really the space and whether I can incorporate it into the Lego city, because my Lego city is a fixed size. It hasn't really grown. Well, since the first time I actually set up the city, it did increase by one table for Metro City, but really that is more or less fixed. So if I do get sets, I'm really adding to the city. Sometimes I have to take old sets out and replace them with these new sets, especially if I think they fit. So a lot of my decision has got to do with whether I can fit it organically into my Lego city. Of course, I would say there are some sets which I like and they just can't fit in the city and they just go on a display shelf, but that's generally not as common. So I always generally think of a Lego set in terms of how I can fit it in my city. And I've got three main, I guess we could call them rules, or three approaches that I take, and this might be relevant for you as well. So the first one is functionality. So anytime I see a new set, and I'm talking about official sets, I'm not talking about MOCs here. So I'm talking about sets that you can actually buy from a shop. And I would look at the functionality. Functionality means, how does this particular build add to my Lego city in terms of function? And what that means is, do I need this particular building or build in my Lego city? Now, because my focus is on Lego cities, I typically do look at the buildings or the Lego city sets and even some vehicles. So I don't really look so much at, let's say, the Star Wars sets, the Technic sets, or even the Harry Potter sets, although I have bought Harry Potter sets to build a cathedral MOC. But by and large, I am looking at the city sets and some vehicles. And I think, do they have a functional use in my Lego city? For example, do I need a police station? Do I need a hospital? Do I need a restaurant? Do I need a particular building? So for example, a lot of Lego cities have government buildings, or what I call government buildings, like your police stations, your hospitals, your fire stations, office buildings, a town hall, city hall, whatever you might consider something set up by a government agency. So these are very functional and you might have them in a typical Lego city. So sometimes if a set comes up that serves this particular function and I do not have that particular building or function in my Lego city, or I have an inferior one, then I might buy that set to include it into my Lego city. And I'm sure a lot of us are like that as well. Lego will put out a set and say, hey, we don't have that in our city. We want to put that in our city. So that's, I think, the most common way. Now, the second thing that I think about is the architectural similarities. That means, do they look similar in terms of the exterior design? Now, these buildings may not have the same function, they may be completely different, but do they kind of fit together if I place them together? Traditionally, the expert modular buildings, I feel, kind of fit together. They all had kind of the same European architecture, and they fit very well when you put them in a row. And I think that's why the expert modular buildings were just so popular, especially when they came out. And for that series, and even I think, from the Brick Bank Parisian Restaurant, Detective's Office, Assembly Square, Pet Shop, Grand Emporium, I think that was all a great run, because all the buildings, when you put them in a row, they really look good together. The recent buildings like the diner and I think the corner garage, they tend to stick out a bit and don't seem to fit as well organically as the rest. Of course, if you think about a modern city or a historical city which has been upgraded and renovated, you do get a lot of odd buildings next to each other. But by and large, if you have a Lego city, it's generally a cross-section or a snapshot of a larger city. So you do want some consistency. So I often do look at the architectural design and whether they're similar. And that's why something like a Ninjago district has appealed to me and a lot of Lego fans as well. So the Ninjago City, Ninjago Docks, and even something like the Temple of Ajitsu, even though it's not modular in style, many people have mocked it so that they can all form together in Ninjago district or an Asian district, or just something very distinct from the European buildings that come with the expert modular buildings. So that's something I'll look for as well when I think of a new set. When I see something and I see if I can fit it into my Lego city, first, does it serve a function, or does it fit at least aesthetically within a group of buildings that I might have? Then I could carve out a section in my Lego city to create that. Now, the final point that I have is I do think in terms of themes as well. Now, of course, if you have your Lego city, you might have your own way you want to build it. And really, there's no rule. So don't take my approach as the only way or even a way that you must follow. I'm just sharing with you my personal philosophy. I think a Lego city should be built in realism. So as far as possible, it should feel like a real city, just miniaturized to minifig scale. So I do think of my city and I plan it as kind of a real city would, in terms of the different sections and what you expect to find in a city. So in my Lego city, I'll never put, let's say, the Disney castle right in the middle of the city, and then next to it might be the Ninjago docks, for example, with water all around it, and then have an expert modular building, and then have a fire station. I won't just plop buildings together. I would create different districts or themed areas. So I have Brick Beach, which is my main beach. It's a tourist beach. I've also got my underwater area. So actually, that's a good example of something that I would consider a really, I guess, a good fixed theme, a big theme where it really guides me to buying the different sets. So when I was putting this theme together, for example, I would, think of all the different underwater elements I could put inside. I'm not just talking about the landscaping, I'm actually talking about the Lego sets. And about 3 years or 4 years ago, there was this Deep Sea Explorer series which fit very well. So this is an expanded underwater base that I built from the original smaller base. And then I put in all the various submersibles and the various different underwater machines or vehicles. As you see, there's also the Silent Mary from Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, of course, this has nothing got to do with an underwater theme, but Pirates of the Caribbean is at the sea, so it's got to do with the ocean. And of course, Silent Mary itself is a ghost ship, but looks really good as a sunken shipwreck, as you can see, and with all the submersibles underneath as well. And another set or series of sets I put in the Lord of the Rings, Helm's Deep, as well as the Monster Fighters Castle, and I put everything together as kind of a lost underwater city. So it is because of my theme of the underwater display that then guided me to what sets I should buy, and that is how I could fit them into my Lego city logically. And when you have a theme, it really helps because it offers you kind of a template to what sets you should have and what sets you should look for. So if you are thinking of putting together nothing as elaborate as, let's say, the underwater display, but maybe just a section of a city, think of an area, let's say emergency services, and you can then put your hospital, your fire station, and maybe a police station all together in one space or one section of your Lego city, and think how these sets can interact together, share facilities to share space and to save on space, and just create that whole area as just a nice emergency services area. That's just one way of looking at it in terms of themes. So an example of another theme, in fact, why don't I just show you a new set that I put together recently, and I'm sure some of you knew that I bought this. This is the Shrimp Shack, or the Hidden Side Shrimp Shack, or the Attack of the Shrimps, or something like that. But in this case, when I saw it, I liked it. I liked it because of the size, what it was supposed to be, and just how it was put together. I thought that it was quite nicely designed. And of course, that 3D sign with that giant shrimp on the post there, that signpost, that's something that appeals to me. Anyone who follows me on my channel knows I really like brick-built signs. So this is something I really liked, and I needed to figure a way to fit it into my Lego city. So this was my thought process. I thought in terms of a theme, where could I fit this into a Lego city that would make sense? So what makes sense for me was to put it with something that looked kind of like that, but more importantly, would fit in terms of a theme. And that is the Old Fishing Store, which is a Lego Ideas set. You can see they all have, both have earth colors, and they're by the sea, and I can envision that this shrimp shack can be by the sea. And if I put it next to the fishing shop or store, where there are also fishermen who fish and they catch all kinds of things from the sea and bring it here, it makes sense they would have fresh seafood, including shrimps, for the shrimp shack. So what I did was just to put them together to see if they work well together. As you can see, when they're next to each other, they kind of match. As I said, the color tones work, and I felt it's possible. Of course, we have to do more than that. So I thought, what if I were to put it on a blue base plate like it's on water? That looks pretty good as well. There's some continuity, but you can now see that it's going to be pretty tough for someone from the side of the Old Fishing Store to hop onto the side of the shrimp shack. They might just fall in the water. So what then I would consider is to put plates on the back or underneath the shrimp shack. So those are two 16 by 16 dark gray plates, and then I place the shrimp shack back on. Now the shrimp shack itself is 32 studs across. There's a bit of protrusion on the right, and that's because there's a tree or some kind of vegetation that can easily be removed and put somewhere else. But just for the sake of preserving the actual original build, I'm just leaving it as it is. But as you can see, now that I've placed it on the dark gray plates and on the water, it's raised up a bit, and now it feels a bit more connected. Of course, I would have to do detailing, adding rocks and some kind of a rocky shoreline in front of the shrimp shack where the dark gray plates meet the blue water, but that's really for the detailing. Now I'm just talking about the conceptual fit and how I can fit it together. So what I thought was, well, I might as well add one more base plate. In this case, it could be a 32 by 32, but I had a 16 by 32, and I had a bit of light gray plates already on it. What you see all the way to the right is actually a crocodile, and there's a little stump with a pelican, and that comes from the creator set, which is the boat. That's the Creator 3-in-1 boat, but this is my version where I made it look like the old fishing store. So I made it a bit dilapidated because the original boat comes nice and shiny and it looks very modern and clean. I wanted it to basically look rickety and look a bit like the old fishing store. And you can do check out my playlist. You will be able to find a video on how I converted this into a more rundown boat. But if you look at this thematically as a display, now you can see that the shrimp shack fits in pretty well. And if we add in detailing for the water and the rocky shoreline, and of course add in minifigs for some dynamic scenes and having guests all around, you can see this fits in pretty well, pretty organically. And I should mention, all these are original Lego sets, meaning they are not MOCs. That, of course, I have some modifications in, but really the modifications are just aesthetic changes that I wanted to do. But by and large, these are the sets left intact, and yet 3 different sets go pretty well together to fit into a Lego city. I should mention that the hidden side also has a boat. I didn't buy it because it looked a bit similar to this 3-in-1 Creator set, but if you didn't have that Creator 3-in-1 set, you could technically get the hidden side set as well. Although, honestly, I have not looked into that in great detail, so I'm not sure how similar it is. But maybe you can let me know whether those 2 boats are the same. And that's basically it. Pretty short and sweet, this particular topic, but that's my thought process in how I go about fitting new Lego sets into my Lego city. I think of their function, I think of the architectural similarities, and I think about the theme. So these are 3 different ways I can kind of fit a new set into my Lego city. So let me hear your thoughts. Let me bring you guys back onto the screen. And once again, if you haven't, please like the video. I really appreciate that. And if you're watching this and are participating but haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. So let's go back and see what you guys are saying, and let's say hi to some people who are around as well. Well, lots of people seem to have joined in, so thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate it. Shy Time is my brick time. How are you doing? Bricks Ninja, thank you very much for joining in as well. Ingrid, always good to see you here. Miles Hoffman from Vegas, great to see you here as well. Galagade, yes, our #1 Lego community contributor. Who else do we have? Tiny Brick City, you're late, but you're here and you're up late as well. I know you're from the Philippines. Mock Brick, hi, how are you doing? Skywap, I've mentioned you. Michael mentioned you. Well, great. Let's see. Mahan says, I live in a small... no, this is Michael. Michael says to Mahan, well, I live in a small city, 150k plus people, and there's probably at least 5 helicopters from different agencies. Yeah, what do you think about helicopters in a Lego city? Generally, I find the helicopters really too small for my liking. Let's see who else. Anyone new? 333 Trouble. Hi, how are you doing? Lego Master Builder Tayshawn. Great to see you here as well. All kinds of people. Gallagher, how is Annie doing? Annie is in her closet once again, and I don't think she has a Wi-Fi connection today. That's why she's not joining us. Well, great. Great that you like these things. Edison Shelby, that's a new name that I'm seeing to the live stream. I think I've seen the most number of new people in today's live stream, so thank you so much. Nick Whitey, how you doing? Brick Blue Builder Blue says, yes, you love the building a mock from start to finish. Don't see anyone else doing that. Interesting, fun, and helpful. Well, talking about building a mock from start to finish, I'm not building a mock from start to finish, but I'm doing something similar. I think I'll be filming it tomorrow, and that's got to do with the Shrimp Shack, the new hidden side set. I'll be doing a review video on that first, and one thing you'll notice is the back is open like a lot of the Lego sets now. So I'm thinking how it's possible to convert it into a more modular style building, so it's enclosed on all sides, but we can pop off the top. at first glance, I think it's not going to be too difficult, but you never know. It's always these simple things that seem more difficult. But I'll do that as a building a mock from start to finish style. So do check that out earlier next week. Brenda says, JC has been upgraded to a closet. Yes, from a cupboard to a closet. Exactly. Spherical51 says, did I delete the video of the Tourist Information Center? I do not think so. It should still be there. London Bridge Bricks, thank you for joining us. Great to see you here. 333 Trouble says, have I done the treehouse yet? Got any ideas where to fit it in a city? No, I do not think I'll get the treehouse. It's too massive. It can't fit logically anywhere in my Lego city. The most logical place would be my Highlands, but that in itself is pretty crowded already. I would have to do some major changes, and that treehouse, I think the proportion is just huge. I think you really need a large Lego city to have that. If I were to do it, I'll probably do it as an island and the treehouse in the middle of the island or something like that. But I'll find it hard to put it into a city along with buildings, because it's taller than all the expert modular buildings, so it's not too logical. Edison says, when will the cathedral be put in? I hope to do that next week, or at least do the video next week and start putting it into Brick Beach. Let's see who else we have here. Spherical 51 again. I'm building a huge castle for my city with lots of green land around it. Look forward to seeing that. Castles are always awesome. I would hope that in future, if I do expand my Lego city, I can put in a castle. All right, great. Everyone's having a good time. Are you ready for the Small Brick City Spotlight? This is something I always shine a spotlight on. It could be a mock I'm working on or just something interesting. So I thought I'll do something interesting because I do like to change things around. Don't always want to showcase a mock or something I'm working on. And it's kind of answering a question that many people have asked. People have asked me, can I show how I store and organize my Lego parts? And I've said many times I will not. Or I will, but maybe it has to be some kind of a special event to review how I do my storage. So no, I am not going to review how I do the storage for all my Lego parts, but I will show you how I organize, or really it's how Annie organizes it. I just use the parts, but this is her organization system for our decorated pieces and some of our minifig accessories. So let me show you the spotlight right here. We've got it in a video form. And the way I keep the parts, or the way Annie keeps the part, I should be very careful when I say that, is we use a box like that. So this is just a multi-compartment storage box. It's labeled. It's getting too full now, but I've still managed to keep everything inside. And this hinges up and it locks in place. So nothing can move about, which is pretty good. So once you open it up, everything's inside. There is a logical format to this, and I'll show you close-ups of each section. Now, the reason why I use something like this and not a drawer is because this is very easy to move around. We can bring them to different rooms in the house to build, just to use the parts. So this particular corner here is all 1x2 decorated tiles, as well as 2x2 tiles. There's some odds and ends like the cameras, but mainly these are tiles, some round tiles as well, but mainly 1x2 and 2x2 decorated tiles. Over here are all kinds of flames or the feather plumes, anything that kind of looks like that. That tile, that Spider-Man should be over this side. Over here it's all my food parts. So anything that's got to food, has got to do with food, that fills that up. And over here, that's a plastic bag we don't need. But here we have all the ice cream tops, or sometimes the muffin tops, and all the 1x1 decorated round tiles, mainly the food ones as well. Behind that, we have all the money-related tiles. So we've got the money coins, we've got the ingot parts, and the green $100 bills as well. So anything got to do with money. And I found that this is really a great way to store it. When Annie came up with this idea just to put it in a container that can be moved about, I felt it just worked, at least the way we build. We always are very mobile when we build throughout. And that section over there is just all the silver parts, the rock parts, and the jewel parts. In this larger section, we've got more decorated elements, and these are bigger elements, bigger tiles, and just bigger parts. Some bricks, as you can see. We've got slope pieces, so like cash registers and stuff. We've got 1x4 tiles in wood. And over on this side are all the animal-related parts. That's a dog bone in a container. That's a snake. So basically anything got to do with an animal. And over here, these are tools. So we've got broomsticks, mops, and whatnot. Over here, we've got more accessory items like bags. I believe we've got plates, as you can see, and trays and such. Over here are trophies and taps, a lot of gold parts. Over here, a lot of gray parts. I think these two containers are a bit messy. I will have to relook at them and reorganize them. Over here, we've got mainly glasses and bottles and cups. Also food-related stuff, but more in terms of like the cutlery. And this is a Chinese bowl from the Chinese New Year set. And over here, these are mainly smaller tools. So in this plastic bag that's sealed up are all the tools, like the ratchets and the screwdrivers and such. And we've got other tools, walkie-talkies, bats and wrenches and such. So these are all the home decor or household items. As you can see, that's what's labeled. And this really makes it easy for us. Easy to find, easy to store, and easy to just transport all around. So that's the Small Brick City Spotlight for this week. That's how we store these small items. How do you store your small accessory parts? Let me know in the comments and let me know what you think about how we do this storage system as well. So let's see, do we have more people joining in? Looks like we've got more people joining in. Hi Vicky, how are you doing? Great to see you. I think this is one of the first times I've seen you on the live stream. Great. Brick Studio, how are you doing? And what else? Everyone's just saying hi. Good. Everyone has a similar system. I think this is just a logical system. Of course, this is a small amount of parts and small parts. What happens when you have more parts and your bigger bricks? They obviously won't fit in the box like that. So it'll be interesting to hear how you guys organize your parts. And I promise one day we will review how we store our Lego parts. And the system we currently use does not involve multi-drawers. So if you come to our Lego studio, you might not even know that it's a Lego studio because you won't see any parts. Bricks Ninja says, I use piano small containers, but basically the same. Vicky, oh, thank you very much. I'm glad that I popped up on your feed and you joined in. Rowan, hi, how are you doing? Another new name to the live stream. Music Binder Process uses Ziploc bags in containers. Yes, it does save a lot of space. It's true, because once you bring in plastic boxes and stuff, you do need a lot of space. But Ziploc bags has its own issues. Sometimes they leak. Sometimes it's hard to, if you have, imagine if you have 100 Ziploc bags of parts. I can imagine that would be quite hard to find as well. Galagate says she has stackable boxes, which makes perfect sense as well. But don't you hate it when you have to grab something from the bottom? That's right. Mahan, you're talking about the Winter Wonderland. I do remember it now, and you had a question for me, but I can't remember what the question was. Please ask the question once again. Vicky says she uses medium and large plastic stackable containers. I think that seems the most popular. Now, are these drawer kinds, or are these things with lids that you pop off the lid, or maybe the lids are hinging? Do let me know. Brick Builder Blue says, hi, I'm joining from Tampa, Florida. Think I was watching a previous live video by mistake. Were you watching my live video, or were you watching someone else's live video? So tell you what, let me know what sets are you building this week. I shared with you the sets I was building. One of them is the Porsche. I do like this particular car, Not because I'm into Porsches that much, but I do like regular cars that can fit in a Lego city. And many times the Speed Champions cars are like sports cars, something that you find on the track and not something that you find in, on an actual road. So I'm really actually happy with this particular Porsche. Do any of you, have this? I know that other brick tubers like Dr. McBrick and GJ Bricks, they have this, they built that. Do let me know in the comments as well. Brenda says she uses clear plastic shoe boxes. Brick Ninja says you stack them side by side to avoid having to grab them from the bottom. Vicky says not drawers. You like the pop-off lids. Yeah, I think the pop-off lids are good as well because I see a lot of people who have drawers when they have parts, and when they have to build, they basically pull out all the drawers, right, and they bring them out. But the problem I find, at least, when you're building big MOCs or anything is big and you have many of these containers open and they are open on the top, they don't have a lid. Once you knock them off the table, you kick them accidentally, parts go flying all over the place. At least that's what I feel. Rowan says it's his first Small Brick City live stream. Well, welcome. I'm really happy that you're here as well. So Lego Master Build asks, what do I think of the Lego City Ski Resort? I actually shared my thoughts on it either the last live stream or 2 live streams ago. So I did share, you can check that out, 2 live streams ago. I shared my thoughts on the ski resort. Personally, it's not something I will get because I don't really have a winter set or section in my Lego City. And generally, as with a lot of these sets, I find that they're just a bit too sparse. There's a bit of everything, but nothing is really fully developed, in my opinion. London Brick said, you built the Porsche last week. It's nice build and has been well received. Great. A lot of people do seem to like the Porsche. The woodshop teacher, did I see that you bought the Porsche on a sale? How did you get it on sale? It's a brand new set. Kowie's Creation, how are you doing? Are you off to college yet? And Vicky agrees on the lids. And you get to see them better. True. You get to see into them better. That is very true. Talking about trains, I think some people are talking about the Disney train. I think in this part of the world where I am, it's going to be out on the 1st of September. I think that's a set that I might get. I think Annie definitely likes trains. So I think we're definitely going to get that set. Maybe I'll steal the station so that I can incorporate it in the Lego City. But maybe she can keep the train. And it does come with the Disney minifig, so I think that's good. But I have no idea how much it's going to cost. I think it's actually because it's a licensed thing from the mouse. I think it's going to be pretty expensive. So let's my guess, 200 US, 199 US. Let me know how much that Disney train set is. I never checked on the price actually. Music Binder Process. I'm working on motorization of the Skyline Express from Bricklink. See my channel for some videos. I will check it out. Yeah, and you know what, guys? When you see everyone on this live stream, we are an international community. Do check out each other's channels as well because we've just got so many people with great content. And this might just be an aggregation of these people. So do check them out. I will check you out after this Music Binder Pro. I'm looking forward to see that Skyline Express as well. London Brick says in the UK Bounty boat, Destiny's Bounty, yep, was 55% off. That's a great deal. Yep, great deal indeed. And the VIP was open to order on the 21st. That's what Vicky says. You pull the trigger and it's 329. So just a bit more than that. Wow, it's much more than that 199. So it is pretty expensive. But I think it must be a pretty big set as well. But I think, easily 30% of that is licensing to the mouse. Rowan says he's been working on a Apocalypse City, Escape from New York style. Well, that would be very cool. Did you buy the Welcome to Apocalypse Burb? Because that would fit very well, especially with, I guess, the Statue of Liberty and as well. Yeah, everyone agrees. the Disney train set is pretty expensive. And a woodshop teacher in Denmark says, yep, your local supermarket had it all on sale, 35% off. I think it must have been a mistake for the new sets to go on sale, but you are very lucky. Josh Brick says he's going to head into the other room for a bit of coffee. Yes, very important. This is Coffee and Bricks, so make sure you have the coffee. Silent Bricks, great that you could join us. I've changed the Skyline Express wheels for real roller coaster wheels. That's what Music Behind the Process. I believe that's what JK Brickworks did. At least that's one of the first that I saw on YouTube. He actually made a whole monorail kind of system with the roller coaster tracks, and that seemed to work pretty well. Kawi says, oh, mine has got to be the Jackhammer. She's probably talking about which is her favorite channel, and she loves JC's channel too. She has to say that because she is actually on this live stream. But great. Jackhammer, yeah, he's blown up recently with all his Stranger Things builds, and he's been building very fast in the last 2 weeks. So that is a guy who obviously has no life. So good luck, Jack. I'm just kidding, of course. Vicky says, the reason why the Disney train station is so expensive because it comes with powered-up functions, lots of tracks, and a big station too. I did notice something about the station. I was glad that it wasn't just like 4 bricks thick. It looks sizable, I think, about maybe at least 6 to 8 bricks thick. But I think that if you do want to make a full station, you probably have to buy 2 sets then. Because I think you need a lot of bricks just to fill that up. Magnus says, I don't like coffee. Then for you, we'll call this tea and bricks. Brenda says she has to leave. My dog says he has to go outside. Okay, bye, Brenda. Kawi Creation says, haha, he has no life. A railway using a roller coaster track is a bi-rail, not a monorail. That's what Puppet Guy says. Welcome to the stream. He's actually right. Yes, it is a bi-rail. It is just a train rail. Edison, do you feel that public restrooms are useful to a beach scene? Yes, I do. That's where I put my porta potty. Depends how much space you have as well. I don't have a huge amount of space, but I think a public toilet for a beach is very important. If not, everyone will just do their stuff in the sea, which is not very cool. So check out the last video that I put out, and that's how to modify the porta potty from the Hidden Side Scuba set. And you can also check out the regular potty that I have as well. So I think, just do that. Ruan says, Apocalypseburg is expensive for me. It's expensive for everyone. I am actually still waiting for it to go on sale. There was actually a sale about 2 or 3 months ago in my Lego store. You could buy one and get the second one at 50% off. Now that's a great deal, but I couldn't find anyone else to buy a set with, so that was the problem. So brick after brick, Vicky says, I'm growing fast, and what's your projection for the next few months? As she knows, I always have a projection. Well, I don't think I'm growing that fast. I'm growing about 100 subs a week. Not too bad considering my content is about 3 times a week now. So you can guess. I'll hit 10K in about 6 weeks time. So hopefully by mid-October. So that's what I hope. Edison asks, what is my least favorite modular building? Well, I have actually a video on that. Check out my channel. It's called What is the Worst Lego Modular Building? And you'll get your answer there. I'll tell you what, folks, it has been fun as usual. We're going to wrap this up really soon, so please let me know if you've got any more questions you'd like me to answer. It doesn't have to be anything specific to the topic today because we just like to chat, but it's always great to see so many people on the live stream. Bricks of the Dead, another person who's new to the stream, or at least new to me seeing this. Any tips on starting a zombie apocalypse city layout? Well, your username checks out. I think definitely the Hidden Side set work. The Welcome to Apocalypseburg set works very well. All these unfortunately are expensive sets, so you can at least use them for reference if you do not buy the sets. I think basically we're gonna build something that zombie, apocalypse kind of feel. The great thing is you don't need complete builds, so you can actually have half builds of stuff that are breaking apart, such as buildings and stuff. So weathering and detailing and making it look very gritty, I think that's the most important if you want that theme to really come across. And the colors you want to use are also should be very muted, so don't get bright colors, not like the Friends colors, right? That won't work. You want really toned down earth colors, a lot of gray, brown, sand green, light gray, dark gray, a bit of black, stuff like that. I think that will work well for the theme that you're going for. Rowan asks, have I ever thought about getting Brickmania kits? Not really. A lot of tanks and vehicles. Honestly, I haven't looked at them in detail. I'm not sure if they have any Lego City stuff, as in buildings and stuff. But mainly the stuff I've seen have been the tanks and the wall kind of related stuff. I think stuff that, Lego generally will not produce. And Vicky says she loves my content. Well, I love your content as well, Vicky. Thank you so much. You're always such a pillar of support. And thank you very much, Music Binder Pro just donated in the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I will check out your channel, I promise. And we'll check out that roller coaster by rail. Small Brick City from Silent Bricks. What color scheme would you use for a supermarket? Well, actually, I think almost anything would go, generally because I work with realism, so I'd go with color schemes that are real, probably use white or light tan. If you look at the Simpsons Quickie Mart set, that's yellow, but that's very Simpsons. I would say look at your local supermarket in your area, what colors are they, and use those colors. I think that'll fit well. Well, guys, thank you so much. You have been great as always. Thank you so much for your time in joining in. We will be doing a live stream next week, once again, same time. So do check out the community tab the day before. I usually post up the schedule there, unless something happens. But I think we will be doing this. I always have so much fun. Really one of the highlights of my week for me. I hope it's a highlight for you as well. So guys and girls, thank you so much. Do take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, before you go, do check out more videos and just subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.